All right, Shalom Aleichem. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all true faith and sincerity. And today I just want to tie this lesson, darkness, only darkness ahead. And that's concerning these Americans, these Babylonians, those that dwell in this world, those that have made Esau their refuge. Ultimately, the Lord, give the green light and, release, which the death angels has already been released. But when all hell break loose, when that time of trouble comes in its fullness, the hope of these people are going to be taken away, man. There's not going to be no relief in sight. Only darkness, perplexity. It tells you how men's heart's going to fail them for fear for the things that's coming on the earth, man. And this is what is ahead. There's nothing you can do to turn this process around and manipulate it to the favor of America coming back. No. This is the decree of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. So this is from theweek.com, and it reads, that's the spirit. It says where the global economy is headed in 2023. See, and guess what? These are thoughts of those that dwell in this world, in a sense of hoping that it bounce back. It says, how does the average person feel about their national economy? See? And what is the outlook for the coming years? It says, at long last, 2023 has arrived, and with it, the feeling of a clean slate following a year of turmoil. See, so it's just somehow because it's January now. The previous things don't matter. For an example, concerning these shortages, and there's a shortage on everything from, of course, food, but you got a shortage on diapers and shit, pet food and wipes and and eventually it's gonna be it's already an everything shortage, but suddenly the storehouses has be found empty, man. This is where we get. This is the time we in. Everything is already in play. But as you can see, as they titled the year of 2022, a year of turmoil. And the Apostle Har coined this year, 2023, the hopeful year that all prophecies come to pass. So that means more evils, more turmoil, more perilous things to come. That's what we're hoping in. That our bread should not fail. Because in that, this is on the way the good can come. If this place will be violently uprooted, and this is that process that we're in now. It says at long last 2023 has arrived, and with it the feeling of a clean slate following a year of turmoil, particularly among the economies of the world. Economists, pundits, and average people alike are weighing in on some strong forecasts for what the next 365 days may hold for the global market. See? So it tells you how our Lord said concerning this hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world. And the only way to be kept from it is to keep the word of the Lord's patience. When you read Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Now it's making a whole lot more sense now, man. It said, here are some of the biggest questions and most notable predictions. So as you can see, these are the questions these people are asking. Like I said, in a sense of hoping that shit get better, man. But what's the answer? Is only going to be darkness, evil, and only evil. We were here Babylon, but she is not here. The Lord has smitten her with a deadly blow. She fallen and can't get up. So this is first question says, would there be a recession? See? And we hoping in it that it comes. Will inflation get worse? These are the questions that they're asking themselves. How much will the cost of living increase worldwide? What is the likelihood of a stock market crash in 2023? And these are the things that we're hoping in, that shit get worse. And all thing you see is all those uncomfortable questions, because it leads to uncomfortability as well. You know? And the scripture talk about that great crash in front of the hills. Lord, it is in the 2023 when the stock market crashed. Shit, everything else was already running on fumes. It says, how much more could mortgage rates increase? See, and that shows you that's those that dwell in the world. They hoping that shit can bounce back for the betterment of them. But this is what's going to contribute to their perplexity, their hearts failing. You know, that darkness, that hope being taken away. And the Lord put the hammer down by the way of these plagues. So that's pretty much it, man. You know, but it's only darkness. There's no glimmer of hope for those that have made Esau, the so-called white man, their refuge. Matter of fact, let's start off with this in the book of Amos 5 and verse 18. It reads, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? See, because those that don't know about Yahweh Shemel Shai, they don't know what's coming, man. It says the day of the Lord is darkness and very light. See, very dark, troublesome time that we're coming into. When you read St. Luke 21, it talks about how it says, and then shall the Son of Man be revealed. But before you go into it said, and then, so it shows a build up to it. And the Lord went down a list of things concerning the signs in the heavens, as well as how the earth will be in distress. You know? So this is the build up to the Lord, man. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. See, so as you leaving from one thing, escaping from, one of those perils, and you run right into another. It says, or went into the house. See, as you can see, the house can serve as a protection. You know, it says, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. See, so, that show you that it's not going to be no relief in sight. There's nothing that's going to be able to guard you from the wrath of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Save Yahweh Shai, man. You know, being in this council, in the pavilion of the Lord. This is how we'll be preserved. But as you can see, there's no help in sight. You flee from a lion. You ran into a bear. Somehow you got away from that just to go into this house and think you about to catch a breath, and you end up getting bit by a serpent. And the climax of this is what those missiles talks about, those flying fiery serpents. So that's the climax. So that's the fate of these people. And going back to that darkness, is that they hope is going to fade away. Matter of fact, it says, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. See? Why? Because ultimately they didn't see things through the testimony of Yahweh Shai. They didn't walk in the spirit of prophecy. It talks about how that this prophecy, it serves as a light in a dark place. You know? So, when all hell break loose, the Lord is going to be guided by the will of this word. Talking about how this word is a lamp unto our feet. This is what's going to contribute to our decisions. When that karama come forth. But for the rest of these people, it's not going to be no slither of hope. You see light at the end of the tunnel. That's not the case, man, because it tells you that how this world was created for many, with the world to come for few, and we in that process where the world to come is coming up now. So those that are made for this world, they have to be taken out, man. You know, as this place fade away, their hope is gone as well. So matter of fact, let's get this in the book of 2 Ezra 16. 2 Ezra 16, and I started on 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. See? And as you can see, just going back to the article, as they titled that year of 2022, a year of turmoil. So what we are hoping in, that this year will be even worse than the previous. Just going back, that hopeful year that all the prophecies take place. That evil and only evil, you know. So the plagues is drawing out and are not slack. So it's not like, you're hearing about in 2022 concerning the warehouses of these food productions just being burnt down. You don't just hear about recalls. You're hearing about just the whole warehouse just burning down. In 2023, you're hearing about the economy is getting back on its feet. That's not the case, man. You're going to only hear more and more evils. And as we just read the article as well, it has crept into the minds of the people. These are the questions they're asking concerning the future of this place, because the state of it is fucked up, man. You know? It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compares her womb. See? So we getting closer and closer to this deliverance. You know? And it says, and within 2 or 3 hours of the birth, so as we get closer to the birth, those contractions is more frequent and is more intense. It says, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. See, and it said pains because going back to those questions, those were uncomfortable questions because it leads to uncomfortability. You know, inflation and the stock market crash. Ain't nothing good that's going to come from that. Now, these are the pains. Those birth pains, those birth pains was the plagues concerning, like I said, the shortages, food shortages, and you're hearing about power outages. And when you read these articles concerning those power outages, they tell you they gonna cut the power. The power grid is so weak, So that's show you that's your how about Shemal Shah behind it, because all these things are gonna be on a sudden. It's here for you to consider. You read an article, you might even see a news clip, someone, telling what they going through. To eventually is in your vicinity. Now you going through it, but it's going to be on the sudden. It says, even so, shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth? See, so evil and only evil, man. And the world shall mourn. See? Meaning this world, concerning this world. Matter of fact, let's go to 2 Ezra 15, as I mentioned. Verse 14, it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. See, so the world of Edom, because that's who the Lord is visiting. The Lord is visiting Esau, Edom, so-called white man. This is the age where he was ruling. He's ruling, and everyone that dwells or that hang their hat here, they're going to be a part of that war as well. It says, so that's the point right there. So going back to 2 Ezra 16, in verse 39, says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. See? And sorrow shall come upon it on every side. See? So it's not going to be no relief in sight. Why? Because you made Esau your refuge. It talks about how that overflowing scourge, you shall be trampled under. You're going to be pretty much overwhelmed by the way of these plagues, because you made death and hell your refuge. You have made death and hell your shield. So that's what you're going to get, death and hell, man. But it says sorrows shall come upon it on every side, and it lets you know that ultimately that help is going to have to come from on high. Let's get that in the book of Psalms. Because despite all these things that's happening, that's going to take place upon the planet Earth, this is actually going to contribute to our faith. These are the things that we do hope in, and we're not trusting in a gun or, man itself, pretty much, which is carnality, by the way of a bunker or some nigga that think he got a formula for a zombie outbreak, just shit like that. That's not gonna help. It's gonna come from Yahweh Shemashah. Let's get it. Psalm 121:1. It says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh mine help. See? So our help is gonna come from on high, which is Yahweh Shemashah. It's not gonna be how many guns we have or how much beans we stocked up. It's gonna be of the mercy of the Lord. But for everyone else, it's gonna be in vain. Their hope is gonna be diminished, and these plagues continue to, as prophecy, really continue to consume the earth, man. So that's the fate of these people. Darkness and evil and only evil, man. It's a dark road ahead for these Babylonians. So yeah, Akim, I just hope they were edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. They teach the word on true faith and sincerity. DTA, Abba. Soon. Very soon.